Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also took
Okay.
up the whole screen.
What did?
This meeting is being recorded by the
Oh,
host or their participant and has filled up my whole screen almost.
all right.
Let me click, got it. Okay, got it.
Fine business. Okay, well,
It's a warning. So in case there's youngsters in the room, you don't use profanity. It was a warning. So
I thought for sure there would be more people than this showing up, but that's quite all right. The purpose of this meeting is number one. Let me bring this up, share screen, this, share, just to give you an idea of where we will be meeting for those of you who are not familiar with this. 25 and I-40. You want to go on Manal west a little bit to the, looks like about the very first right turn you can make is called Lamberton Place Northeast. And you follow that through this intersection to your right turn here. This is the school. And you go down this side road. There's a gate right here. And that's the gate that is going to be open to allow us to pull into the backyard. The auditorium is this portion of the building right back here. So we have direct access to the parking lot via a door.
where's that? Point out where that back road is.
The back road is right here alongside
Okay. Okay.
the
All
the
right.
school. There's Lamberton and the side road. It's very obvious that this is, see, it says DATA on the front of the school.
Right.
So you can see that very easily as you're pulling up here, so you know that's the right-hand turn.
Okay.
And the gate, like I said, is right here. I think if we can, maybe we'll be able to use this shade ramada here to set up under, but that does mean a little bit of a run for coax as
Yeah.
opposed to just setting up, right behind the building here.
Yeah, that
So
looks like 75 feet.
we'll check that out when we get there and see how we want to do it. This gate will be opened for us at 7:30 in the morning. So if we can meet up there, about that time, then we can get in. Our first presentation begins at 8:30. And the way we see this happening is a speaker giving a ham radio presentation for approximately 30 minutes. So from 8:30 till 9. And then from 9 to 9:30, the students would move out to the backyard, and 9 to 9:30 and partake in the radio fun that's going on out there. The next group then would come into the auditorium at 9:30, have the presentation done while the stragglers are leaving the parking lot. 10 o'clock, they would go into the parking lot, and so on. I'm planning 3 presentation cycles to cover the population of the high school, the people that want to come. It's not a forced thing. And then the last presentation ends at 11:30. I'm sorry, the last demonstration, the radio, ends at 11:30. And then there's the lunch hour, 11:30 to 12:30. And the club will provide some kind of lunch and beverage and something like that. Then from 12:30 to 1:30 is what they refer to at the school as club time. The different clubs that are in the school, they can do that. So should they wish to return to mess with the radios more, look at other demonstrations or whatever, we were planning to be available between 12:30 and 1:30, and then break everything down and be out by 2 in the afternoon. If nobody decides to come out after lunch, we'll just break everything down and take off from there. Ed Posha, and I thought for sure he was going to be here, has agreed to do various presentations. If there is a good International Space Station, ISS, going over, he will attempt to make contacts through the ISS. Should there other things, DMR or whatever, also I need to clarify with him if he would like to talk to the kids for a half hour. Not to, overtax Bill Mater. And I thought for sure we'd have more people step up to say, hey, I want to do a presentation for the kids. But they haven't, so they haven't. Bill is going to attempt to have his Wednesday morning radio net, have those fellers available to talk to the kids on 40 meters. And that's what I've told Yule to set up his rig as, 40 meters. Rob's going to be working 20 meters, doing whatever he's going to be doing. Mike Cherin, glad to see he worked out his bugs, will be available for UHF and VHF. And I'll set up the club radio for Marianne so she can do her CW out there. Everybody else that shows up would be available to answer questions for the kids. I told Mike Smith, just make yourself available anywhere and everywhere, because it's his daughter that is there, the mucky muck at the school, is a teacher. And so if we need anything done, he's the go-to guy to get it done.
Okay.
So I think that will work. I'm just trying to mimic what we do at the nuclear museum.
All
Well, the
right.
good news is the weather's supposed to be nice. I just checked. Tomorrow and Tuesday is supposed to be not good. Rain. Warm, but rain for 2 days in Albuquerque. I'm looking at the Nuclear Museum, which is fairly close. Weather report. Wednesday is supposed to be mostly sunny with a high of 66.
And not,
So you might want to bring a light coat.
oh yeah, and not strong winds either.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's supposed to be. Hey, on the CW, excuse my ignorance, because I just don't know. When she sends and receives Morse code, is there a program, or do you know if she has maybe a laptop that would look at the words being sent?
I don't know if she has anything to decode other than her brain.
Because that would be kind of cool for the kids to see her, that, and then the response comes back and you see the characters show up to make up a sentence or a word or whatever, an abbreviation.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I didn't know
Um,
if such a thing existed. I know you can keyboard. I know you can cheat in keyboard and send Morse code, but I don't know if it gives you a presentation on a monitor or not. I don't know.
What were you saying, Kenneth?
I was just wondering if Tom was going to be able to bring the FT8 with the little screen showing the bouncing back and forth of the signals.
I can do that. I can run 15 meters and do the FT8 on 15 meters.
Oh, perfect. Fantastic.
Because that's like a very visual, it's really cool to see.
That's
I mean, I
way
think that'll enthrall some kids like me.
I have extra monitors if you need them, Thomas.
Yeah, I've got some big ones here. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, that would be cool. 15 meters was hopping on FT8 about 3 hours ago.
I was gonna
Cool.
pick up coffee and donuts to go over there in the morning, or there's a Whataburger right up the road. I can go get breakfast burritos. What would you guys prefer?
Burritos are probably better than donuts, but that's my opinion.
We need both burritos and donuts. I'm gonna try to have Art come
honors.
along too if he can, so he can help out too.
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
good.
Since he has his new license and all, he's got
What
his.
is
His
his,
license number?
What is his call
I
sign?
think, what is his call sign? ACT, Kilo Juliet 5 ATZ. I think that's what it is.
And you pronounce that ART, Art?
Yeah, Art, exactly right. Art,
Arts.
Art,
Hey, Elaine got her before his. She's ATL.
right.
She's
ATL, yeah.
ATL.
Good
I don't
evening,
know if
Mr.
she'd be- I
Mater.
don't know
Thank
if
you
she'd
very
be
much for
interested to
joining
go or
us.
not.
You're welcome. Glad to be here in Kingman and joining you.
Oh, well, you are in Kingman. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Good
You're
deal. Go by the In and Out, get a big bag of double doubles and
I don't know. I'm looking for a steak tonight.
it's called the Dam Diner.
Damn it.
No, it's the Dam Bar. It's the Dam Bar in town's good steakhouse.
Which is it?
Well, the Dam Diner's up at Elvado, but the Dam Bar's in Kingman.
Oh, that'll be closer.
Yep. Yeah. I've eaten there several times, never had a bad meal. I've sent a lot of people over there. They've never had a bad meal. So that means you're going to be puking your guts there.
Yeah, well, it's called the Dam Bar and Grill, so
Yes. Mhm. Yep.
apparently it won't be microwaved.
No. Go to the freezer, get the box.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, Bill, here, I'll show you what we're showing to the other fellers here. Share screen and share. The school is very close to Highway 25 and 40. If you're going south on 25, you would get off and take Manal and head west on Manal, a very short distance. Make a right turn on, I saw it a while ago. I really did. Where'd it go?
It's at the corner of the cemetery. right?
Oh, okay, right there. Yeah, it's across the street
Yeah.
from the cemetery. So
Perfect.
Lamberton is your right-hand turn. You follow that. This is the digital arts and technology. And you'll know that because on the front of the building is that big data sign.
I've seen the picture of the building, yes.
Yeah, and then you'll just make a right-hand turn down the right-hand side of the building and follow this alley to the back of the building. There'll be a gate right here that will be open and drive in the back. This part of the building right here is the auditorium where your talk will be given. And then we will have the radios set up out in the back. There's a doorway that leads directly from the auditorium to the parking lot. And that way, our noise won't interfere with anybody giving a presentation, and the presentation won't interfere with whatever's going on outside. So far as what we got going, I'm going to set up the club's radio for Mary Ann to do CW on whatever band she wants, because it'll be set up on a sloper. And Rob is going to do 20 meters. Ewell will have his set up for 40 meters and hopefully be able to talk to some of your guys in the Midwest or whatever. Rob is trying to reach out to his friend back in California to be available to talk to the kids. Tom is going to be bringing FT8 probably for 15 meters. And who did I forget for operation? I think that's it. And then whoever else is there is just going to be available to be instructive or supportive for questions, answers, whatever. Now, the part when you came in was probably the most important. We were discussing whether the group would prefer coffee and donuts or breakfast burritos from Whataburger, because there's a Whataburger right down the street.
Really? That's a question, a serious question?
What would you prefer, Bill?
Duh, where do we live? What state is it?
Okay. Guess you're looking at a burrito. Well, Rob thought burritos, since they don't make donut burritos, he probably preferred the breakfast
Ooh.
burrito.
Yeah. Boston cream burrito.
Boston cream, yes. Burrito, no.
Thanks
The
for
cream
that
burrito.
visual. Yeah, boy, there's a visual.
Now,
And then
that's
the
like,
club-
I love green chili, but not in my apple pie.
Right.
So I
Not
don't
on my
get apple pie
cornflakes.
at Monroe's.
Yeah.
No. So our first beginning presentation, our first group will assemble in the auditorium about 8:30. So the talk could go from 8:30 till 9. And then the students go into the parking lot from 9 to 9:30-ish. And then at 9:30, the next group of students would amass in the auditorium. That would go until 10 o'clock. And then in the parking lot until 10:30. The third group of students would arrive in the auditorium at 10:30, go to 11, in the parking lot till 11:30, and then lunch begins for the school, an hour-long lunch, 11:30 to 12:30. And then the kids have what they call a club hour or club time, whatever, the different school clubs. You have an hour to associate there. And then that would give the kids plenty of time to come back outside should they wish to get back to the radio stuff. If nobody decides to come out, then we'll terminate after we have lunch and nobody shows up. Otherwise, that club hour would go from 12:30 to 1:30, and then we would be broken down and out of the parking lot by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's the schedule as I see it.
Hey, David, what's the address of the school? Just so I don't have to backtrack. I just want to put it on my notepad here.
Certainly,
Should be on the screen.
right over here, 10
Oh, okay,
Lamberton Place
All right.
Northeast.
okay, sorry. Couldn't see the forest for the trees.
Well, that's the way these things work over here.
Okay, all right. I didn't recognize it. It was in English, so.
There you go.
Then why didn't you ask, ¿Dónde está la escuela?
Well, it sounds like it'll be fun.
I hope the weather cooperates. I hope the bands cooperate. I hope the kids cooperate. They're a bunch of really smart kids. It's a arts and technology school. And so we are hoping to have the arts side of it. They have a film class there to maybe do some video of some of our presentations or some of our demonstrations that they could use at a later date. But anyway, that's what we're talking to them about as well. And the other half of the students that aren't the technology side, they're arts, all kinds of arts. And so it's a broad spectrum. I don't know what
that a pun?
percentage.
Is that a pun?
No,
Sounded like a pun.
I don't know what percentage of the students are going to be interested in what we're offering. Probably all of the technology kids, but I don't know about the, the watercolor kids. Just don't
Right.
know.
Yeah. The finger paints and Play-Doh kids, yes.
You guys
But we'll
make
see.
crayon kids too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I should bring my crayons.
There you go. I know when we were down there meeting with them a week or so ago, they're teenage kids, so a whole bunch of them have different colored hair, stuff you wouldn't expect.
So who else is, who are the other two giving presentations?
Well, I can't nail down Ed to absolutely say he's going to do it. And that's it. The other one is open. The third one is open.
Okay, so I've already done mine, finished it. I completed it. I wouldn't, it's never finished until that morning. But what I'm going to talk about is what kinds of fun can you have in ham radio? And teenagers, if you don't already know, are competitive, as in online or computer gaming of any sort. So I'm
Yep.
going to talk about radio sport, Chasing DX, Summits on the Air, and then I've got a picture off their website of a group of students and what kind of impact could ham radio have. And I'm going to give a quick quiz because I know the subjects that are involved in STEM that they teach there. And I will going to ask them, how could this relate to radio and electronics? And of course, nobody will know. Well, I might be surprised, but I've got examples of chemistry, for example, corrosion. Even biology is one of their STEM subjects. I said, well, think about when you were younger, you put the pair of scissors into an electrical outlet, electrocution, biology, right? So
Yep.
that's where I'm headed. The joy of learning new things. This kind of interest will help you get ahead in the job market. And then, of course, shiny and new stuff to play with. And then they're going to experience hands-on voice, CW, and digital modes of communications.
That's
David,
wonderful,
are they
Bill.
in STEM or another type of school?
They're STEM.
They
STEM,
are STEM.
Mhm.
Okay.
yes. Yep, STEM is
I
on their
heard another
website.
term- I heard another term being bandied around.
Well, STEAM,
Yes, STEAM
STEAM,
is,
that's
and
what
they
I
do
heard,
have
STEAM.
arts there.
yes,
But
so
their STEM subjects don't directly include their digital arts. That's a separate piece of the pie.
For work.
I would advise, if you're going to talk to students at a school, you should visit the school's website.
Yeah.
That gives you some insight. In other words, we're not going to meet any of these people ahead of time. The last school I had a chance to talk to, I was at a previous presentation. I got to take pictures of them standing outside, listening to a really horrible, boring, hard to understand presentation. And then related that to them when I did my presentation about what we were going to do and how it was going to happen, and it worked.
wonderful. I'm glad you have that experience, Bill.
And by meaning that it worked, I didn't mean my presentation worked. We went out and talked on the radio. Microphone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I didn't do FT8 then. I hadn't learned how to spell it yet.
Yeah. All right. So anybody else have any questions?
What type of burritos?
Yeah, I was just gonna say red or green.
I prefer green.
Green.
I'll take what I can get.
We have power, right? And we have tables and all that out there.
Yes,
That,
and internet.
let me go back to my picture here.
I know I saw the little,
We have
the
this
pavilion thing.
shade area here if we want to utilize it. The only problem is that's a pretty long run of coax across the parking lot. And the kids do have access through this central hallway to get out, you know, for like a recess area in the backyard that would be crossing over the power lines or whatever that is going on. I mean, we could certainly do it. The uprights for the shade ramada are all vertical. So if we needed to lash masts to them, we could do that. I've got one of those stands that you put the tire on for a mast. I know Bill has one. And those could be utilized with the cars out in the back there. But if we want to utilize shore power, we're going to have I don't know, maybe we can run it over here. I don't know. I just envisioned everybody having their emergency power, their batteries and whatnot to power their equipment.
okay.
I don't know, you know, like you had Tom at the Ojita Wilderness, you had your Jackery with your solar cells out. So that might be another part of the demonstration or presentation.
Okay, that'll work.
So the key to success, as always in this, whoever will be putting a station together has a checklist of items to bring and uses it. I know that sounds very basic and obvious. However, I also listen to the radio. And I know what does and does not happen frequently.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, the Mike Sheeran called the net on Saturday. You were out of town, and he was using his 7100 to call the net, and it was working just beautifully for 2 or 3 minutes, and then boom, it was gone. And
And the backup radio?
he came with his backup handheld. I said, okay, tell you what, I'll give the president's report and you go ahead and you monkey with that thing and get it working. So I gave an extended president's report and then, okay, there you go, net control, it's all yours. Still not working. And then Tom signed in. Okay, Tom, jump in, baby. It's all yours. And then I guess Mike somehow or other, just stared at it long enough and it worked again.
Oh, he was
And,
operating out of his truck.
oh, he
Yeah,
was in his truck. I had walked into the Jack in the Box, I wasn't privy to the information. And
His
so
third backup.
the third backup. So
Yeah.
he operated that for a while. And then for some reason near the end where he's thanking Paul Chalk and all that stuff, it just boom, went away again. And Kenneth, you talked with him. Can you fill us in on?
Oh, all I
what was
told him
wrong?
is that what was happening probably is he was losing voltage. And there was a couple of on the internet experts and taking pictures of where the power cable was starting to short out, and their radio was doing the same thing. So he looked and his Anderson power pole was black and arcing. So he had a voltage issue. So he fixed
Yeah,
that.
no, actually it was a current issue.
Yes, it was a
Heating
current
up.
issue. That was a current event.
Yes, it was.
So
That
luckily
darn voltage drop.
he got that fixed before Wednesday because he plans to operate on Wednesday as well. So he should be good to go. And Yule was here last night, dry running his equipment here using his ham stick and whatnot. And so we had a real nice, he had a nice conversation with a guy named Mike in Enid, Oklahoma. And so
You didn't say that right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you didn't say Oklahoma right.
I'm sorry. Oklahoma?
Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. So what is Yule's ham stick setup like? Is it a mobile operation with a truck under it?
Well, no, it's a tripod with a mast and a dipole configuration at the top, or he can run a vertical.
How high? Dipole.
Ish, 20 feet-ish.
Okay, that could work.
Yeah.
Could.
He's utilized
Yeah.
it before. That's what-
My 40-meter friends on a Wednesday are typically in Tucumcari, Lubbock, and then down near San Antonio, Kerrville, near Kerrville. You've heard of that in Texas. So not Midwest. There's a guy who may check in early in the morning from Southeast Missouri, but he's usually too weak to hear. So we wouldn't hear him on Yule's antenna.
So we'll see if we can't get those guys going there. And
So,
Tom,
pardon me. So we normally meet at 8 a.m.,
yes.
but from what you say, the schedule will be 8:30 is when the
Well,
demos, no,
The-
8.
Yeah, I will put it in an email, the whole 9 yards. But
Thank
the
you.
demonstration of the radios will commence at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. That's usually when we sign off because we're old and tired.
Yeah.
And out of breath and out of things to say, but I will ask that they extend their time on the air, or if they choose to meet at that time. Let's see, 9 and 6:1500 UTC.
Yeah, it'd be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, top of the hour.
We'll run out of range on 40 meters to the more distant stations after 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay. We can have somebody sit in their car with a HF rig. I'm in New Zealand.
There's typically sufficient activity around on 40 meters all day long. You can usually find someone, although they may be a pig farmer in Texas on 7195.
Yep.
There's a incredibly broad signal, retired Walmart truck driver in someplace north of Amarillo, having a brain fart.
There'll definitely be a couple of POTA guys on 40 in the morning.
Probably, yeah.
No, there will be. There will be. You know, it'll go CW at 40, 20 meters.
Any other questions? Beautiful. Let me turn the recording off.